Alright, meme time. Dudes taking W's. Very nice. Alright, 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh. I forgot to turn on the volume. Whoops! 3, 2, 1, for real! Boom.
At 14, I saw my mum crying about her only car being repossessed. This felt good. Merry Christmas, mum. Turkish photographer beats up client after learning bride is 15. Relaxing.
Absolutely based.
After winning an argument with the wife, in Who Cares News, I've lost 183 pounds over the last 18 months. Being ugly, my experience. And he eventually got married. A smile.
That's what I'm saying, chat. That's what I'm saying. There are ugly women, chat.
18 months. Being ugly.
Ask me how I know.
My experience. And he eventually got married. A smile like this must be protected.
You're mad.
My wife's smile is the one I must protect. I must escape the city. I am surrounded by sheep. Ah, much better. Bitcoin update. Just buy $1 worth of Bitcoin, please.
Holy crap. How much is one Bitcoin now? Like $80,000 or some shit?
10 years ago. Awesome yacht, 100 foot with DJ and crypto friends. I went to the store to get some groceries and I unexpectedly met Tom Hardy there. He ended up paying for all of my stuff and even carried them to my car. My ex-girlfriend never wanted to go on hikes with me. Today, I took her dog that she abandoned after we broke up for an 8-mile hike. I've never seen a dog so happy. Every 6 months, this man in South Dakota climbs this communication tower to change the light bulb. He is paid $20,000 per climb. My brother literally—
Women don't do that. Women don't do that.
Listens to classical music and plays Roller Coaster Tycoon all day. Never had this thing as a kid. I had to wait until I was almost 50. POV, your 8-year-old brother wants to be a YouTuber, so you make random accounts and subscribe, so he has something exciting to tell you. Man devotes his life to adopting old dogs who can't find forever homes. When I was a kid, I had this game called Worm Church, where I'd bring worms to my room and read them the Bible.
Wait, this is so wholesome and funny at the same time. Wait, but you're killing the worms and bringing to your room just to read the Bible. So you see, Jesus died for your sins, little worm, for you to be a worm.
Some of y'all are afraid to be corny, but I was born on the cob. This is the coolest guy I have ever seen. That's a guy wearing an elephant costume. That bike may look odd to—
Wait, is it? It's a guy wearing an elephant costume? That looks like an elephant.
That bike may look odd to some, but this man built it so that his blind brother can feel the wind like he does. That's quite the brother. This is my dad when he married my mum. I asked him, why were you dressed like this to your wedding? And he said, your mum invited me to the wedding, but she didn't tell me whose wedding it was. In 2020, an Italian man walked 450 kilometers to cool off after he had an argument with—
He went across the country of Italy! Oh my god! Insanely based!
His wife. A kid is fishing during class. Las Vegas police facing Mike Tyson after he had just bitten off someone's ear. 1996. All of them look like their eyes are flashing before their eyes. Going to a World Cup in the Middle East.
Give me your pussy, policeman.
Dressed as a crusader. They have a lot of bathhouses in Budapest. At this one, old men play chess in the water. These are photos I took on film. Jack has 5 pens. Molly has 3 pens. Which child has more pens? Jack. How do you know? Show your thinking. Thinking, Jack. Sons of a fallen deputy raised $3,000 to buy their dad's old patrol car. The bidding quickly surpassed what they could afford. A rancher bought it for $60,000. He walked to the boy's table with the keys and said, here is your car. A border collie who was ejected from a car during a crash in Idaho has been found on a sheep farm herding sheep. Wow, this dude got yeeted into his dream job. Men pick up a few games, movies, and songs they liked when they were 15 to 25, and then don't consume any other new media ever again. Kane Hodder, the actor that played Jason Voorhees in 4 of the Friday the 13th films, declined a scene where Jason was supposed to kick a dog. He insisted that Jason was not evil enough to hurt animals. My parents had to put their dog down 2 years ago, and it's been really hard on them. Unfortunately, my stepdad, Rick, has found the worst way to cope, feeding a 1-year-old raccoon and letting him live on their porch. His name is Little Rick, aka Raccoon, and by feeding him, sometimes I wonder if my brother has autism, but then I remember that one time he showed me his spreadsheet of all his friends that he would calculate when he needed to hang out with, or text them in order to maintain a friendship.
I've thought about doing this. I've never done this, but I've thought about doing this. I thought it was too much work and I didn't feel like doing that, but I've thought about it. I'm like, when I was a little kid, I don't have any friends, but like, I thought about it when I was a little kid, for sure. I'm like, I have to hang out with her, and then I have to hang out with her, and if we get down together, then we get to hang out with her, and then we get to do it with them, and then if we're together, then we do duos, and then if we're playing together, that means that we're doing like all that. Min-maxing friendship? Yeah, then I go to level 2, but sometimes if I don't hang out for a while, we're only level 1.
Your priority weight is being dropped in this spreadsheet. See you at 8:41 p.m. October 27th, 2031. No! Every year, window cleaners at this
It's like a gacha game where you have to keep the friendship levels up and shit.
Hospital in Canada dress up as superheroes to surprise the children. Then they go inside to the pediatric unit, the NICU, and the youth mental health unit to say hello to everyone. On my campus, there's a group of jacked muscular dudes who offer to walk with you if you're scared to walk alone. I woke up and realized I was obese, so I started lifting and walking 12,500 steps a day. Still got a long way to being yoked, but I'm happy with my progress so far.
Well,
let's go, Jimmy! I overcame my depression and went for a hike. It's the small things. A bunch of girls just told me I look like Chris Hemsworth. Do you agree? This guy thought he'd trick us all by posting a picture of himself twice. Hey, isn't it weird how we live longer than men? Huh, weird, men. Shooting a potato at a tennis racket to make French.
That's voice critical. I do that long hair and that stance and those tattoos on the forearms any day.
Fries. There's 18 months between these two pictures. I'm really proud of the progress I've made with my weight loss.
Actually.
2 Brazilian politicians settled a dispute over a water park conservation project by fighting each other in a 3-round MMA fight. After turning 35, men must make a decision to either get really into World War II history or really into smoking various meats.
My brother was always really into World War II history, and he had books dedicated to tanks and battlefields and stuff. And then when he grew up to around about 30 plus, he was keep in mind he's my older brother. He got into smoking meat and barbecuing. He didn't give up, the whole World War II thing, but yeah. He really loved that shit.
Farmers stand in silence at auction so a young man can buy back his family's farmhouse. No, this is literally bank robbery. More farmers equals cheaper burgers. Arthur Booth is now a manager of a pharmaceutical company and is living a lawful life as he'd promised to his former classmate. I let social media influence me too much. Last year, I cheated on my ex because I thought he was a bum because he wasn't funding me to have a luxury lifestyle like I see others have on TikTok. This whole time, he was saving money to adopt his nephews. I want him back, but he hates me now.
This is such a woman moment. I don't even know what to say. I'm not gonna lie. I've never once in my life was oh my god, if you can't afford to give me a Versace Gucci bag with I don't know, gold plating, you don't love me. What the fuck is wrong with you? I go on TikTok to look at funny pictures and shit, but I've never thought like that. I want it back, but he hates me now. Yeah, I'd hate you too, bitch.
Good. When Henry Cavill had to prove to his nephew's teachers that his uncle was in fact Superman, man's wife files for divorce after he refused to give up newborn baby with Down syndrome. What type of wife does this? I hope this is a fake story. You're a bitch! Not many better texts to receive after a day on the biz with your old man. You really love to see it. Thanks for this afternoon, mate. Really enjoyed it. That smuggled home lunch meat from the wedding they went to today. Me, realizing my standard in men is so high because of my dad. He wakes up at 6 a.m. every Sunday to buy flowers, coffee, and pastries for my mom every damn time for the past 25 years.
Okay, that's valid. Actually valid point. Yeah, I don't blame her. Yeah, if your dad does this to your mom, I don't really blame. I don't blame you for thinking like that, sure. Yeah, my dad does the same. Absolutely based.
I want a beer. Paralyzed man communicates first words using brain implants. The first thing our new hire did was fix a bug that's been bugging him forever as a user prior to joining. He then breathed a sigh of relief and submitted his 2 weeks of notice. What? Partied with this guy all last night in Vegas. He asked my boy for the jersey swap. Guys being dudes. Hall of Fame. Aaron Paul has announced that Bryan Cranston will be the godfather to his new baby. While waiting for my flight, I met this
that can't be. That can't be.
Old lady who mentioned she had never flown first class before. She was 82 years old and flying alone. Needless to say, I switched seats with her.
What a nice guy!
Mississippi man charged with hate crime for allegedly destroying Satanic Temple display at Iowa Capitol. Leave the personification of evil alone. My bro's costume.
Bro thinks he's playing like fucking Bloodborne, holy shit.
Kids would rather sleep in minus 36-degree weather with no tent or sleeping bag than go to therapy. The first ones on the bar must be insanely strong. A stranded Australian sailor and his dog survived 2 months adrift in the Pacific Ocean by eating raw fish and drinking rainwater after running into a storm on the 3,700-mile journey.
That is so... like, they could have died, man. I'm so happy they lived. I've read too many horror stories of people having to like throw each other overboard because they die or something or eat each other. It's sad.
And my dad still get Taco Bell together. Is this not weird to anyone else? Tell your dad I've got his Crunchwrap Supreme. I'm on my way to pick him up. We broke up 4 months ago. Why do you still get Taco Bell with my dad?
This can't be real. This can't be real. This is so funny.
Just 2 guys eating crunch wraps and watching football. For those wondering why I buy my 18-year-old son a 330 horsepower Mustang. Well,
like, he doesn't give a fuck about you because clearly the dad, like, if this is real, the dad does not want to hear about your, like, you know, your issues with the ex-girlfriend. Because that's his daughter. He's just hanging out with him because I like him, right?
He's been given months to live and can't work long enough to buy himself one. His comment on the way home: Dad, I'm just going to squeeze a few extra months of my life just to be able to drive this. A boy's hot dog stand got reported to authorities, but the city didn't shut him down. They decided to equip him and give him a permit instead. Star Wars fan, 21, who died stopping a gunman on a North Carolina University campus, is honored as a Jedi Master. Boyfriend is sitting by his computer eating sausages with Wikipedia opened to the page sausage. Don't worry.
I've done that with food, what is it called? Like, with like eating food and then getting curious, like if there's like different variants. Yeah, know what you eat, exactly. You gotta stay informed.
It's not tobacco. Dude, you look like every stock photo of 1940s Russian woman. Compliment. I'd rather eat my own pee-pee. My friend Kev died yesterday, at 42, following a cardiac arrest. This is the last thing he had ever said on social media. This is how he would want to be remembered. This dad...
My one would be like, I fucked your mom or something. That'd be so good.
That is a legend. My daughter disappeared from a quiet suburban neighborhood in August of 2010. 3 years later, 8 years ago today, in direct defiance of the GHP, FBI, and the State Department, I traveled 5,000 miles into Mexico and did what everyone said was impossible.
Wow.
Man who hasn't stopped farting since he ate ham roll in 2017 sues for £200,000.
Wait, but are you blaming the ham roll for causing, like, intestinal, like, problems? Like, what are we talking about here? The ham was bad? Can that happen? Like, you eat a bad piece of meat or something, and it affects your, like, your gastric tract or something? Yeah.
My man said I can't see him because he has to go to mass. I told him he needs to pick it's either me or God. He picked God.
You gave him a choice, bitch.
My 66-year-old father-in-law has been making memory notes to play a video game with his son.
Oh my god, that is so cute.
This is so cute. In 1992, I was 12. My dad and I were at the Newark airport. I saw Joe Pesci and recognized him from Home Alone. Pesci. I went up and asked for his autograph. Joe asked me who my favorite actor was. I said he was. He handed me a crisp $100 and said, "That's the right answer, kid."
That's in character too!
Italy wants to jail vegans for 4 years if they don't feed their kids meat. I agree. Kid. 2 guys were bothering me while I was pumping gas, and an older man walked up pretending to be my dad, told me to get in the car, and finished pumping my gas for me. When the guys left, he told me he hopes someone would do the same for his daughter. I was sitting at my desk all day, and suddenly, in the middle of back-to-back Zoom calls, my ankle starts throbbing with pain and swelling up huge, and then starts discoloring. What? How badly did I sprain? Sounds like a blood clot. Go to ER immediately. Note, I am a former 911 paramedic. Update.
Yeah, that is a blood clot.
Blood clot confirmed. Thought it might have actually saved my life. No Wi-Fi on my
Yeah, that's a blood clot.
last flight. So I drew the Roman Empire from memory with provinces. How'd I do? Amazing. I asked this guy how tall.
Let me see, this is actually good. That's actually pretty good. I don't know if I could do better. Yeah, that's actually really good. Dalmatia, my god, Germania Interior, Germania Superior, or is it Inferior? Yeah, it's Inferior. Dude, this guy loves history!
Empire from memory with provinces.
Really good.
How'd I do? Amazing. I asked this guy, how tall are you? And he handed me this. Yes, I am tall. I am 6'10". No, I do not play basketball. I play volleyball. Wait, I get it now. IKEA dates are powerful because you can walk through the store and imagine a life together. I literally got my girlfriend to unbreak up with me by going to an IKEA store, just as friends. We've been married for 15 years now and have 3 kids. Robin Williams. In every movie he filmed, he asked the production company to hire at least 10 homeless people. During his entire career, he helped approximately 1,520 homeless. What an absolute legend. So I just pulled/evacuated an elderly couple from their house on the way to the gym. How are you all doing? Moment meteorologist calls his kids during live broadcast to warn them to get to the basement as he realizes their Maryland home is in the path of a tornado. A shocking amount of men think they can win fights against grizzly bears, elephants, and cobras. In 19
Well, I don't know about an elephant and a bear, but a snake, you just whack it with like a fucking stick real hard. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I can take a grizzly bear. Okay, Shay, you're right.
1923, a jockey named Frank Hayes won a race at Belmont Park in New York despite being dead. He suffered a heart attack mid-race, but his body stayed in the saddle until his horse crossed the line for a 21 outsider victory. I can't stop thinking about these guys whose friends forgot his ID, so they got a table by the window and were just chatting with him outside. I mean, I think they should have just not gone in the bar, but I'm 22 and just bought my first home after years of working hard.
Maybe he insisted. I don't know. I've met people like that. They're like, I don't want to go back home and get my ID or whatever. Just do that.
Can do it too. Wait, what is going on with the ceiling, man? Looks like a warehouse. Bodybuilder who battled depression and even tried to end his life after his wife left him reveals how adopting 50 tiny dogs helped him to finally turn his life around.
Meanwhile, if a woman gets divorced or has a man leave her, it's like, oh my god, you didn't need him. Wah.
Person caught watching Lord of the Rings as the entire plane views Australia's victory in the Women's World Cup, trying to figure out how my husband knows about Bitcoin, car engines, world economy, inflation, politics, stock market, calorie deficit, etc., but never knows when and why I'm upset.
Because you don't talk to him! You want him to read your mind!
Ever since my dad died, I've made a point almost every couple of days to head to my mum's house and refill her stock of wood and start a fire for her. It's the little things like that men have to do when our fathers leave us, even when we have our own kids and families. There's no such thing as a perfect name for a fire for Lieutenant Les McBurney. What my dad just said about my mum. Your mother is such a powerful soul that even the daffodils lean towards her instead of the sun.
Oh my god. Holy shit, Casanova. Shakespeare breaking my heart, man. Holy.
The Miami Heat waited until Eric was finished with his divorce proceedings to give him the $120 million contract extension. Now that's real as hell. Hey, what's a word that starts with F and ends with, I'm sorry, but the word that starts with this is inappropriate and offensive. The answer is fire truck. I apologize for misunderstanding. Costco co-founder once said, I will kill you, to the CEO who wanted to hike the price of the $1.50 hot dog combo. I was in foster care for 897 days, but today I was adopted. My wife is so tired of me commenting on every historical inaccuracy we see in historical dramas that now I just have a bell on my chair that I ring as an of my frustration instead of talking about it. What is that armor? This is Rick Charles, who is a former American high diver who currently holds the world record for the highest dive of 172 feet, 52.4 meters. That's his mother watching. Nothing to see here, just four chads looking at each other. I teach man lessons. My wife teaches women lessons. I will teach your son how to fight, bleed, groan. She will teach your daughter how to ballet, long hair, call us before it's too late. After being a stay-at-home dad for 6 years, I, 35 male, started college alongside my son who just started kindergarten. We got this. One time a guy picked me up to take me on our first date and he was playing this god-awful metal music. So I turned it down.
Pause. Throw her out of the car.
And he legit made an illegal U-turn and took my butt right back home without saying one word.
Cinema. I would have thrown her out the car. But very nice. Cinema.
Rate my dad's setup.
I actually used to do with my old cat. I only played on a gamer laptop, and I had one of those fan coolers underneath, because like it would get really, really hot. Yeah, I would do that with my cat, because he wouldn't leave me the fuck alone. That's a horse. It's a borzoi. They're super sweet.
Better than mine. I don't know why my voice shook when I said that, but his house was burned, but he saved the most precious thing. After 6 months, homeless and jobless, I now have a new apartment, car, and a job in a call center, and I did it on my own. I'm so proud of myself. Sleep for 8 hours, work for 8 hours. That's only 14 hours out of 24. You still have 10 hours to cook amazing meals.
That's not math. I know math. That's not math.
Work out, learn a language, and walk on the beach.
You bitch! You did this on purpose to rage bait me. I hate you.
Time is not the issue. Back in 2000, Kevin Hines jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge due to mental illnesses. He miraculously survived because a sea lion was bumping him up and kept his head above water. Now, he is a death prevention speaker. Mum said I have to go.
That is so sweet.
Okay, we can play tomorrow. Hey man, I don't know if you still remember me, but we used to play like 8 years ago. I got married last week actually. Before and after photo of a boy who beat cancer. Sausage roll and a can of lager. Why is the can of lager
that is so aggressively British.
Photoshopped in. Drinking it. Didn't want to put it down. I literally helped him find D. What did you do today? If lost, please return me to D. I'm D. Nuts. Where's nuts? Fine, nuts. Do any celebrities want to date me? I'm single. I may not be that person, but I was the best player, blah, blah, blah. Pretty cool. Yep. But guess what? They got married. This is cool. Women with a time machine. I'm your granddaughter. Really? Men with a time machine. It's okay, buddy. He'd want us to forgive you. Fact, 11 years ago, I was texting a dude I hooked up with a few times as I got ready for Thanksgiving back in my hometown. I forgot. What's your town called again? He asked. I told him. 1 8-hour drive later, and he appeared at my doorstep. What a dumb. Anyway, we're married.
8-hour drive? Holy.
Taking her to Starbucks because I forgot her name. If it weren't for women, all men would be living like this until the end of time.
I don't see a problem with that, though. No, go back.
If it weren't for...
There's a water bottle. There's an extra pillow. He has a mattress, and there's a gun and a charger. And I think that's a sunglasses case or a glasses case. You don't need much more than that.
Women, all men would be living like this until the end of time. Girl at my party asked to see my YouTube recommendations because it's a good test for red flags. This was the first recommendation I had. What if Big Bird exploded in the Challenger disaster?
That's not a red flag. That's a green flag.
13 years ago, I tried to end my life. 12 years ago, I was fired from my job. 11 years ago, I was declared bankrupt. 10 years ago, I picked up a camera. 7 years ago, I was published with the National Geographic. 6, I won countless awards. 4, I got a mortgage. Have faith. The Min Supreme.
That's the joke. He got published with National Geographic and he still had to get a mortgage for his house.
Supreme in New Hampshire in 2019 during the presidential election. Gotta keep my nephew looking fresh.
Supreme.
Hey, before you're gone forever, I just want to be honest. I ran, I jumped, and I climbed on multiple occasions. I did not respect the Laser Quest code of conduct, even though I verbally agreed to it. And for that, I am sorry. We forgive you. After the Adams County Sheriff's Office raided the home of Afro-Man and found nothing, Afro-Man turned the footage of the raid into a music video. Now, the officers are suing over emotional distress, embarrassment, ridicule, loss of reputation, and humiliation. Thought it would be cool to make Kinect's body armor.
Holy shit. I bet you this guy gets a lot of pussy.
It would be cool to make Kinect's body armor. Started karate today. I stood next to a 5-year-old little girl on her first day. We learned the same steps, and the dojo couldn't closing. I am 10 times her size. Seen horrors in my years. I hope she will never even imagine. In that moment, we were equal. Never felt such a gracious humility before. Elderly neighbor buys 14 years worth of Christmas gifts for a young girl before he passed from cancer. My
heart, my soul. Oh.
Girlfriend dumped me. I got revenge by losing 141 pounds on my own. His girlfriend Nina had an inoperable brain cancer, and he stayed along her side the entire time. Shows up once a year with a video. Eliminates any—
That's what breaks my heart, is when people, like, there's couples or like married people and one of them like slowly passes away. That just breaks my heart, man. And they like stay with them the whole time until they pass. That is so heartbreaking, bro.
And he stayed along her side the entire time. Shows up once a year with a video. Eliminates any respect some public figure once had. Elaborates for multiple hours. Leaves. Brazilian mother named FIFA Fan of the Year for narrating matches to her blind son.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Remember that time Ron Perlman underwent 4 hours of makeup just to surprise a leukemia patient? Anorexia and my recovery. Your first—
Can we just talk about
makeup just to surprise a leukemia patient? Anorexia.
Men can have anorexia too, man. Good for him. Good for you, man.
And my recovery. Your first podcast will be bad. Your first speech, video, anything will be bad. But you can't make your 100th without making your first. So put your ego aside and start.
True.
I'm at a Michelin star restaurant right now to celebrate my wife's promotion / new role. I know many will not consider this a big deal, but I used to be a janitor, cleaning poopy toilets at car dealerships in Stockton and stealing Pop-Tarts from my high school cafeteria. This homeless man's rabbit was thrown over a bridge by a passerby, and he immediately jumped into the river to save her. He won an award, was given animal food and a job, and the passerby was charged with animal cruelty.
Should have thrown him in the river, in my opinion.
Doctors, you can't test it on humans. It's illegal. Dr. Barry, fine, I'll do it myself. Dr. Barry was convinced that this type of bacteria causes stomach ulcers, but no one believed him. Since it was illegal to test his theory on humans, he drank the bacteria himself, developed ulcers within days, treated them with antibiotics, and went on to win a Nobel Prize. My 82-year-old granddad sends me a Valentine's card every year. His writing is getting worse because of his tremors, but he always insists on writing it himself. For the length of time I have loved you, I could have walked to the moon and back. Can you
Oh, my heart. Oh, the Alzheimer tremors. Oh.
Authorities have arrested a fake lawyer, Brian, who has falsely been presenting himself as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. He argued 26 cases before High Court judges, magistrates, and Court of Appeal judges. He won all of the 26 cases before his arrest. Men doing stuff. Male spiders give female spiders gifts of prey wrapped in silk to increase mating success.
Tell me how that's not different from cooking a steak for your woman. Tell me. It's not.
Wrapping the gift in silk prevents the female from stealing it without copulating, and sometimes conceals that the gift is just random trash.
Wait a minute!
from stealing it without populating it, and sometimes conceals that the gift is just random.
That's so funny. So he gives her the gift and then fucks her, and then she opens the gift. She's like, "Boo, can't even trust spider bitches. Can't trust no man, I guess." Get debated.
4 years ago, I got a gym membership. Insane transformation. I don't have anywhere else to post this, but I'm proud of myself for taking the first steps towards fitness.
He's
2.5 miles, 200 calories. So I've been waiting to do this for a while. It's not attractive, it's not perfect, but screw it. I worked my butt off for this. From 500.
From 525. That's insane, bro. Look at him, he's huge. That's so drastic. I wonder how long it took him.
pounds to the mid-200s, and I'm proud. My son has sickle cell disease and was kicked off Medicaid in 2019. I lost 100 pounds to join the US Army so that he could have medical coverage. On October 29th, 2020, I became an American soldier. 16-year-old Jamie Harrington saw a man sitting on the side of a bridge and stopped to ask, "Are you okay?" That little question saved lives. After convincing him to get help, they exchanged numbers and parted ways. Months later, the man called and said his wife was pregnant with a baby boy. They named him Jamie. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. What a stupid quote. I'm killing way more than 2 people, idiot. Men will take 1 good headshot every 5 years and use it for their LinkedIn picture, hinge pic, passport, background picture, until they rinse and repeat. Family called him to inquire about the recipe so she could have it one last time. When the chef learned that the customer lived in Vermont and could no longer travel due to her advanced lung cancer, he decided to make the long drive and cook it fresh for her.
Man, some of these are so sweet, bro. I hope they're real, man.
My stepson called me dad in front of his friends. I have been with my wife for 4 years. She has a 12-year-old son from a previous relationship. He has never hated me, but it's clear he misses his dad. He's mainly just called me by my name. I don't necessarily like it, but I would never force him to call me dad. Today, he wanted to go with his friends to an amusement park, and he asked me to come with them, which already made me happy, so of course I said yes. But when his friends got in the car, there was one of them who I'd never met before, and he introduced me as his dad. I started smiling when he said that, and I think he noticed, because he looked at me and rolled his eyes while laughing.
Oh, that's so cute!
Right now, they're trying to win a big prize at the park, and I'm still smiling. I know this isn't something huge or anything, but this is genuinely—
No, that's massive. That is massive.
Only one of the happiest days I've ever had in a while.
Sweet.
Mother got extremely sick on Christmas. She gets hospitalized. Doctor tells us she will be here until January 2nd. I take care of my mother, and I have to stay at the hospital every night taking care of her. I tell my girlfriend I have to cancel our plans for a New Year's party at a friend's house because I will be staying with my mum. She tells me she is going without me.
That's a red flag.
I think to myself, well, I didn't want her to have a crap new year, so it's okay. Later today, best bro calls me. "Hey buddy, I heard you are staying at the hospital for New Year's. I cancelled my plans and will bring you food to the hospital so we
Insanely best friend.
can celebrate. Please, this is either a fake 4chan story or your girlfriend is a piece of shit. Break up now." My grandpa, who was 85, started making this rock collection. Okay, this is for a new geography meme video. You can spoil it if you want by reading it, but you know, yeah.
Wait, is that the British Isles, but like made out of rocks? That is so cute. That looks like the British Isles, right? Yeah, just Scotland. Okay. I don't know. I don't know my geography very well in that regard, but that's so cute. That is so sweet. Oh, Chad, did you like that? Also, the really sad ones. Scotland, made out of Scotland. That's right, Scotland forever. Clappies, clappy clap clappies. Check them out. I do like my brain rot. I do. Even if it's sad rot a little bit.